It's time for the big race here in Suzuka. It's a very beautiful evening, Sunday evening here in the Mie Prefecture and overlooking Suzuka circuit here. It's round 2 of the 2022 Hololive GT3 Japan Series postseason. Hopefully you can hear my voice better this time compared to yesterday. So obviously it's a very nice track here in Suzuka. We're talking about 5.8 kilometers of racetrack, 18 corners. This time we'll be racing for 35 laps instead of the 18 laps we've had in the qualifying races because this is actually the main race. We're looking at a target lap time of 2:02, but I don't think it's going to happen because a 2:05 should be more realistic. We did mention that this is much race home race due to this track being close to Aichi, which is basically much race hometown. And obviously we're streaming right now. We're close to 3 p.m. JST, so if you want to find time to watch the stream, now's a good time to do so. Anyways, let's move on into the entry list. But actually, we talked about this previous stream, so let's actually talk about the two qualifying sessions that basically determine the first 16 cars that have qualified, and then the qualifying races. Here is the 22 car field, the 22 entrants that have qualified into the main race. Now we talk about guys who have qualified through the qualifying sessions in each split, like Hokumai leading split B, and then we have Alex Bowen leading the split A qualifying, so lots of other, they're all mad fast. And let's also not forget about Ben Ripton. Ben Ripton actually dominated yesterday's race in the qualifying races, where he basically had a 34-second lead over Shane in just 18 laps of racing here in Suzuka. It's just absolute domination from Ben Ripton. Will we see the same thing happen today for Ben Ripton and for the Shiiki and Sakamoto Chloe? We'll have to wait and see. Now, as we're about to transition over into qualifying, hi, my name is Muhammad Shahid Reza, and we just want to get this thing addressed immediately. We apologize for the... we actually want to apologize for the massive mishap that we've had in the previous stream. The audio mixing was incorrect. We'd like to humbly apologize for the problem that we've had. So hopefully the audio is better. The audio mixing has been top notch. So hopefully with that problem resolved, let's get this qualifying race underway. And let's not forget the next guy in our commentary booth. Hanari Miyuki is not able to join the commentary booth due to reasons I cannot get in too much into detail, but whatever the case is, she had issues on her own end, so she couldn't join. But in my place is Zeke Wimberly, who had just been knocked out in the previous qualifying race after he basically bodied Yosoro Hernandez on lap 1 of the qualifying race. So, Zeke, as we're about to get this qualifying underway for the main race, what's your thoughts?
Oh, sorry. If Ben Ripton proceeds to absolutely smash the field like last time, I'm starting to wonder if lap cars would be a problem for him, as I've seen lap cars severely disorganize the entire leaderboard, scoreboard, however you would pronounce it, and just pandemonium.
And right now we'll be taking a look into actually we're gonna need to reset this session first because I forgot that I got the wrong person again, so a bit of a pawn moment here. Remember we did mention that Santini has been ruled out of Hololive GT3 competition for the time being, and right now we have a replacement driver that did well in his debut, and his name is Aquamarine Jensen. So good job from him as we're about to get this qualifying session restarted. Hang on. Anyways, again, we apologize for the bit of a pawn moment in the qualifying session. We're gonna get ourselves back into the stream. Here we have the... Hang on, we're just gonna need to Okay, I got the wrong button again. So okay, now we have this qualifying session here. So we have Saki Reza, the first guy out on track. So yeah, you did mention that Ben Ripton dominated the race, and you did bring up the topic of lap cars. Well, so the lap time here in Suzuka is 2 minutes, and with pit strategy, that gap could increase larger than it should due to some damage repairs and all that stuff. So right now, we see Shaki Reza getting out on track and just gonna test the mic and aux, and right now my voice is crisp and clear at the moment, so that's good to know. That's good to see. So right now, we also want to talk about the guys who are qualified at the top end of the standings during each of the split qualifying sessions. So we have Hofumai, fastest driver in split B. So let's see what he can do.
Probably wonders. The Sora car has been shown to do absolutely wondrous things. Probably, I'd argue, one of the best cars in Hololive GT3 at this current moment. It's incredibly reliable. It's decently fast. It's just a very good all-rounder. I'd say even more than an all-rounder car.
And right now, you can see Hofumai getting into the Deckner section of the racetrack. I also wanted to mention another driver. Now, we haven't seen Alex Bowen get out on track just yet, but he will be there. Here it is, Alex Bowen, just getting out on track. The Australian driver. She has been very solid in the qualifying set. She was very good in the qualifying session for the Split A qualifying. She was fastest right over there. Let's see what she can do as she moves into the racetrack.
Very, very strong contestant. Put up a very good fight during the Split B. Sorry, am I getting that right? Whatever split she was a very solid contender. I remember she was holding her place very, very well. Just an absolute stalwart. Managed to just keep 6th place for at least half the race, if not more.
Correct. So we're here. We have Alex Bowen barreling down onto Deckner, just like what we see us on the Hofumai. But we're going to take a look at Ben Ripton. Ben Ripton is about to finish his out lap for a hot lap here in Suzuka. So let's get on board the number 96 Sakamoto Lux, which probably stinks on the inside. So Ben Ripton dominated last qualifying race yesterday. Let's see what Ben Ripton can do. Obviously, get a good launch of the exit of the Casio Triangle, and then head into turn 1. Right as you get onto the exit road, get a slow down enough, get a good arc flowing, and then exit turn 2 very solidly. Now remember what I mentioned, that you have to treat the S's like as one corner. It sure it has like 4 bends, but you have to treat it as one section. You have to get this one section right, because if you mess up the first part of the S's, you're gonna mess up the rest of the S's. You're gonna lose a lot of time. As for Dunlop, try to find the apex and try to exit as late. Try to find the late apex. Exit as early as possible. Start the front as early as possible. Heading into Deckner right before the 15-meter board. Slow down sufficiently. You have to hit a good amount of buttons because it's cambered actually on the inside of Deckner. Into the underpass. Heading into the right hand. Really slow down a bit before committing yourself into the hairpin. A good exiting the hairpin is what you need for a slightly longer run towards Spoon, as he's about to get his second sector times underway. Chugging is still barreling on a racetrack. On here, you can go to the access road. Use the access road as reference to break into Spoon. Slow down sufficiently and try to get an early exit off of this Alpha Spoon to make sure you have this long make sure you get this exit very nicely on this long back straight. The first times have dropped. Bond Air have set at 206.814. Power sets at 206.139. Take it easy at 130R. You don't want to extend the corner too much. And into the Casio Triangle, break at 100-meter board. A lot of people misjudged this corner and basically went off wide. Ben Ripton nails the cornering so far. And as he finishes his lap at Suzuka, it will be a 2:09.399 so far. So as of right now, he couldn't replicate his searing pace at the previous qualifying race.
Potentially. Honestly, I'm pretty clueless, but let's go, Van Ripton. I believe you can get the same results you got last time. I believe you got a couple of 205s last race. I'm pretty sure he can replicate the tactics he did last time. I have full faith.
Okay, so basically here we have Raji Kaczynski qualifying second. That makes it Chocomel front row star. Obviously Daniel Bauer setting the fastest first sector so far. We're about to reach the final minute of qualifying. Aquamarine just says a 2:07.067, but Alex Bowen says a 2:06.821. And right now it's a Chocomel front row. As you can see, Daniel Bauer racing in the Yozora Mel Lexus. Remember, tomorrow is Yozora Mel's birthday, and her birthday streak will take place. So Daniel Bauer is going to try his absolute best to bring this car in the front, to bring the Yozora Mel car the first win of the 66 since Okayama last April.
Well, I'm sure that they are doing her very, very proud with the first place position going on right now. Hope he can keep it in honor of Yozora Mel for her birthday tomorrow. But it seems he's getting nothing but purples for the most part, which is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, if he can keep it up, do Yozora Mel proud.
Yeah, and also we want to talk about Raji Kaczynski. Raji Kaczynski has been very solid and fast. He has won a race late into the season at, I believe, Tokaji, where he got his first win. Although that straight was also been very easy as well. Raji Kaczynski doing very solidly in the first sector, but I think he's slightly being held up by Andrew Rakhimbayev. Andrew Rakhimbayev is down in the stand. He's in 18th place. So not looking good at the moment. So Andrew Rakhimbayev currently in 18th place, only getting a personal best in the second sector. Which he was finishing qualifying time. He will qualify 12th in the race. And look at Anthony Amanal. We just mentioned that it was a Chocomel front row. Anthony Amanal in the Hachama car just disrupted that.
Well, you can't have everything in this world. You can have lots, but not everything. But maybe we can get the podium, top 2 finish next one. When the actual round race
takes place. Yes, correct. And I also want to talk about some of the other two drivers. Jake Fox, listed as Dean Fox for this race for some reason, is currently 21st, and Miguel Castro. Hang on, we're gonna need to reset this session after this. We're gonna need to take note of the qualifying order and then get ourselves straight into the race. We're gonna go through the qualifying times to basically get to the running on who is running who and basically get the names straight, because it's not actually Miguel Castro in the car, it's Tim Eno in the Marco Nissan. As we're about to get this qualifying session finished, and as you can see, Bon Air and Kizuhario, the last two cars who are about to finish this race. And here is the transition. So we're gonna need to take a look into the qualifying times before we get this race underway. So obviously it's been a very solid showing for the drivers here, and here we're going to be seeing the starting lineup for the main race here in Suzuka, but we're first going to have to change the names as well. So here's the starting lineup there. Daniel Bauer has set the pole in the number 66 Yozora Mel Lexus, and it was supposed to be a front row start for Chocomel, where Raji Kaczynski in the Choco car should have qualified second, but Andy Amanal stole second from Raji Kaczynski, who's currently in third place. And the Chocomel in the ASCII car showing decent pace in the Nissan in fourth. Bon Air qualifying fifth. Alex Bowen fastest in split A qualifying is down to sixth. Juan Suharto, Noel and Flair cars in sixth and seventh respectively. Hans Heinrich Heinz in the Ozora Subaru Lexus is qualifying 8th. Shaki Present, Moses and Nissan will qualify 9th. Ricci, last 2 weeks race winner, starts 10th. My fastest split B runner is in 11th. Aquamarine Jensen in 12th in his in his second Hololive GT3 race, but his first main race in the Minato Aqua Nissan. Richie Rod in the Shutdown Fubuki Nissan will start 13th. Sean Pauly, Split A champion, starts 14th. Alex Grant got into the main race by running out of fuel. He starts 15th. Ricky Contreras, solid in the qualifying race, starts 16th. Kizuhara Leo in the Mitsubishi Honda starts 17th. And Rahim Bayef 18th in the Okami Honda. Sergei Petrov 19th in the Nekomata Kaya Nissan. Ben Ripton in the Sakamata Chloe Lexus will start 20th. And I actually want to talk about the other two drivers. It's actually Jake Fox in the number 6 Super Lexus, and it's actually Tim Eno in the Homaru Polta Nissan. So we're gonna need to snap the images for a while just to basically get this starting lineup underway before we're gonna get this race underway. We're gonna transition over just a few minutes before we basically get this thing back underway. So I want to give ourselves a bit of a race preview. So we have basically Daniel Bauer in pole position and Anthony Amanal in second, as well as Raja Kaczynski in third. And then we have Andrew Takotle in fourth. So I want to know what's your favorites to win this race.
If you're asking me, I'm kind of hoping for Ben Ripken to kind of smash the competition again, but those hopes are kind of fading on me.
Okay, so right now, we're just about to sort back the grid again based on the qualifying positions of the previous qualifying session. So we need to reiterate to you guys once again. Anthony Amanal starts second, but it's Daniel Bauer who starts on pole, and then we have Raji Kaczynski, who is going to start third in this race. Andrew Takotle will start fourth. And we also want to mention that Bon Air in the Matsuri Lexus is showing very solid pace in the Matsuri Lexus in qualifying. Let's see what he can do. And then we have the Noel and Flair cars in what's basically 6th and 7th. Obviously, Alex Bowen in the Shirogane Noel Lexus, and Wawan Suharto in the Shirano Flair Nissan. And then we have Hansari Khan to the Ozora Subaru Lexus. And starting in 9th is Mama Shakif Reza in the Momosuzu Nene Nissan. The younger of the Reza siblings actually beating out his brother. What do you think of that?
As an older brother myself, that should not be happening.
I mean, yeah. It happens. Due to obvious reasons. I mean, it's all for bragging rights and all that stuff. Anyway, we want to get back into the grid order right now. Once again, Lorenzo Ricci starts 10, Hofomai 11th, Jensen in 12th, and then we have Richie Rod and Sean Pauly in 13th and 14th. Make that a British 7th row. And then we have Alex Grant in the Amane Kanata Nissan qualifying 15th. Kizuhara Leo will start 17, but ahead of him will be Ricky Contreras in the Laplace Darkness Honda. Just want to notify that the Laplace car is 39 and the Xion car is 40, so a bit of a good pattern here. And then we have Andrew Rahimbayev starting 18, Sergei Petrov 19, and then we have Ben Ripton starting 20th. Jake Fox actually starts 21st, and Tim Eno will be starting 22nd in this race. So we're gonna get this race underway by then. So, and as for my chances, we were expecting Dean Fox to carry over his absolutely dominant pace in Saturday, but like Evil Geniuses in the International, you can be good in the preliminary stages, but on the part where it matters, if you fall down, it doesn't matter in the end. So we're going to get this manic race underway so far. So we have these cars ready, and then we have basically all these cars lined up at the start. Wait for it. We have this 5 red lights underway in Suzuka. here we go, and you can see Anthony Amenol trying to match Bauer at the start, but look at Raja Kaczynski having the better launch off of turn 1. Here are the drivers barreling down into turn 2. But after they have reached turn 1, will there be a crash like we've seen in the qualifying race? The answer is no. The drivers going double file as they exit turn 2. A lot of jostling for position. Alex Bowen jumps up to 5th. There's a bit of contact between Richie and Suharto. Richie also has a very decent start there. Hines falls down the order. And Jensen, in his first Hololive GT3 start, makes rounds. But Chuck and Restart falls down into 11th place outside the top 10. Look at Sean Pauli up to 12th place. So as we're about to get the sector 1 finished, we had Daniel Bauer leading this race, Anthony Amenol 2nd, Raja Kaczynski 3rd, Von Air 4th, Alex Bowen 5th, Taco's led 6th, Richie 7th, Suharto 8th, Hans-Harry Heinzen 9th, and Jensen rounds at the top 10.
Well, it seems that the first sector of first lap always very eventful, a lot of position shifting, maybe the occasional crash, but it seems there's a lot of position shifting, sadly not enough. Well, actually, technically, happily, not enough crashes, but...
So as we see a bit of a shuffle there between Contreras and Grant there, Fumai. So right now, this race is where you count the points in. So right now, Daniel Bauer is still leading, so he will get the maximum 200 points. It will be a massive swing in the championship from being outside the top 20 to basically challenging inside the top 10. But meanwhile, as we actually wanted to take a look back into the championship permutations at the moment, we're actually going to be showing you the championship positions first. As you can see here, in the point standings here at the moment, Dan Bauer is below the top 25, and if he wins this, he has the chance to get inside the top 5. And back into the race here so far, first lap has been completed. Brent Ripton jumped up to 18th place after starting 20th.
Well, maybe there is a chance for Ben Ripton Grand Slam, but we got 35 laps and not enough time, so we'll see where that takes us.
And meanwhile, as we're about to take a look at some of the gaps here at the moment, Kaczynski is still trying to find a way past Amenol. Amenol is losing touch to Daniel Bauer. Daniel Bauer is running away at the moment. We can't tell about the last lap data, but whatever the case is, Anthony Amenol is holding Raja Kaczynski back. Von Air is hot on the heels on the Indian.
Well, it seems that Suzuka definitely probably going to be one of those maps where someone's just blazing ahead, and then we have a lot of battles towards the back. This could be one of those just reoccurring things. That's just a gut feeling I have.
And right now, the fastest Nissan, the highest Nissan in the field is Andrew Tuckles, currently in 6th place. Now, we did mention that Buriram has been a Nissan-dominant racetrack, a Nissan-dominant race where almost all of the Nissans entered in this race got into the points, when Lexus and the Honda basically just combusted into each other or just didn't have the pace. But right now, we might see a reversal here, as we see in the top 5, only Anthony Amenol is the Honda, the non-Lexus, as the top 4, 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th are basically Lexus cars.
Well, again, first, not even a quarter into the race, that standing is definitely subject to change. It always is, every moment, but for dominant cars, I definitely could say that the Lexus could potentially outclass some of the opponents in this field.
Yeah, we did mention that Suzuka has a lot of winding corners, a lot of medium high-speed corners, and a lot of areas where you need very good accelerations. The Nissan just doesn't have that, but the Lexus do. This is basically a reverse track to basically Buriram, where you have a lot of straights. And you can see Daniel Bauer, the fastest line, 2:06.180. We will be seeing a pass for position. We'll be looking into the gaps here at the back. And as you can see here, a lot of race cars ripping through the racetrack, basically representing the Hololive colors, the Hololive uniform colors. This is, and then it will be reimagined into GT3 cars. You can see Alex Grant getting close into Rakhimbayev. Let's see if he can make a move there. Actually, we want to take a look into the bottom 22 places. As you can see here, Petrov and Fox are mired down into the bottom 2 positions.
I've seen bottom positions rise up from the ashes like a phoenix does, well, from its ashes, but we'll see how it goes. I don't think they've collided with anyone, so I believe they still have a chance to catch up if they have the pace.
So a bit of a check right now. The audio mixing should be good by now. Hopefully everyone can hear my voice. And yes, I actually roasted EG in this year's internationals intentionally, because you could perform well in the group stage, but if you don't perform when it matters, what's the point? And right now Ben Ripton is having that deja vu feeling as what Evil Geniuses had experienced in the international. Now a bit of a context. In this year's international, Evil Geniuses dominated Group A in the group stage, and meanwhile, actually, we wanted to take a look at Hansari Khan's getting very close there into Wawan's Harto. So back in the story of the international, Evil Geniuses dominated Group A, but was absolutely stomped and crushed over in the knockout stage, basically eliminating them from winning the international quite early on into the knockout stage. I believe it was at the quarterfinals in the upper and lower brackets with Daniel Bauer setting the fastest lap, by the way. Right now, Ben Ripton, at the very least, is trying to challenge Alex Grant for position. So, actually, I want to take a comment about the pit stops. What do you think about the prospects of the pit stops here at the moment? I know there's going to be at least one stop, but will we see a two-stopper?
If you really miscalculate your fuel, you could go for it. You could definitely probably two-stop on accident, but I don't think, well, obviously nobody would want to, well, sometimes people want to purposely two-stop, but I don't think that's going to be happening on this race, personally.
So right now, we also want to mention that the Lexus cars are very good in clean air, as well as Daniel Bauer is basically already consolidating a near 4-second gap over Anthony Emanel. So Anthony Emanel trying his best to stay on second and on track. Kaczynski is trying his absolute best to bring that Suzuki Choco Lexus into second place, giving them the first Chocomel 1-2 finish in Hololive GT3.
Coincidentally, at night next to Joseph Romero's birthday, I'm gonna mention that a lot tonight, probably. Yeah. But more important matters, however, it seems that he's doing pretty well in second right now. Probably gonna hold that for at least, I'd estimate, at least 3 more laps. He's safe for now.
And right now, we want to take a look into Alex Grant trying his absolute best to pass Andrew Rakipayev, and they're trying their absolute best to do some overtakes. But obviously, this is a track that doesn't facilitate much overtakes due to a lot of winding corners and not enough straights. So Grant is getting close, but will he be close enough? He's looking down the inside. Will he be fully alongside? He has to check. He has to check up on his brakes. He has to take it easy. Daniel Bauer has another fastest lap, 2:05.845 for the American in the Yozormel Lexus.
Well, yeah, I guess I was right about my estimation. This track really is about first place dominates. Well, all the battles kind of happen in the back, huh? Well, deja vu from last race, but.
So right now.
Continue on.
Okay, so we also want to take a look at Richie Rod trying to get close into Ricky Contreras, but obviously Contreras putting a good fight in that lapless darkness Honda. Obviously, the Plus mates absolutely excited to see Contreras making it into the main race. Sure, he didn't win this race, but with Contreras staying clean and getting the fuel right, basically Contreras is on the move inside the points as well as Richie Rod. But Contreras has the advantage on points as he will be scoring 4 points instead of Richie Rod's 1.
Points are points, but if you're in the far back, it's really more a fight about honor than points. But I'm getting off topic here, but yeah, I think that I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're going to need to take a look into the top 10 drivers here at the moment. Danny Bauer is still leading, and the gap has now opened to 5 seconds. Anthony Amanel in the Akai Honda Honda is in second, and then we have Raj Kaczynski in the Yuzuki Choco Lexus. Those are your podium finishers for now, but look at Bon Air and Alex Bowen. Alex Bowen is really closing in into Bon Air right now as they're at the backstretch right now, heading into 130R. Alex Bowen tries to get into the inside, but will it be enough? The answer is no at the moment, but Taco's Light is going to be definitely hot on the heels of the two Lexus cars.
Well, it seems we have a very interesting lineup going on over here. A lot of conflict I'm going to probably oversee, but for now it's semi-conflicted right now. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of future takeovers, I believe, within those few spots within the next couple laps.
Yeah. So right now, speaking of Bowser, right now Tim Eno is trying his absolute best to get himself to stay in 20th place right now. If you're 16th place and lower, you're basically fighting for bragging rights. You're fighting for a silver spoon. And right now, Sergei Petrov is trying his absolute best to get himself in contention for points. And speaking of strategy, I'm very curious to see who is going to pit early. Given that the track is quite cold at the moment, the overcut strategy might just be key because heating the tires once you exit your pit stall is going to be a bit slower compared to when the track is very warm and all that stuff. So I don't think I believe the overcut strategy is the strategy that could work for this race.
Like Shazrin said, it's going to be very interesting to see the amount of strategies that are going to be put in place. This is a very, very arduous track to endure, especially within these conditions of it being cold out. But I'm adaptation.
It's all about adapting yourself and the car to the needs of the track at the moment. And as it stands at the moment, Danny Bauer has the best seat in the house and has the best car, and right now has already built a 6-second gap over Anthony Amanel. Now I believe the pit stop delta, the time you take when you are doing or basically pit stop and all that stuff is about 40 seconds in and out. So you'll be losing 40 seconds once you are inside pits. And as it stands right now, Danny Bowers still leads, but when the guy pits, they will lose 40 seconds. And yeah, you can continue your meal.
You can overdo that? Oh, I was just snacking, my bad.
Yeah, don't worry, it happens from time to time. Meanwhile, Ryan Kaczynski holding on to 3rd place, and as I am going to be making a drink in the next few minutes. Meanwhile, we're seeing a good train here, starting from Richie Rod from Lorenzo Ricci to Richie Rod. There's a good train of cars forming. Actually, no, it's actually from Lorenzo Ricci to Hofu Mai, or rather Sean Pauly. So watch out for these. There could be an overtake somewhere down the line.
Potentially, yeah. Overtakes are well, not as common as they usually are on this track, but still fairly common. We'll keep posted, hopefully,
and
for
right
the
now,
next couple laps.
Yeah, we'll keep everyone posted on who will be making the overtakes and all that stuff. And as you can see, Richie Rod really trying to hound that rear end of Ricky Contreras. Contreras holding on to 14th place, but let's see if he can consolidate their place for longer. Meanwhile, Ryan Kaczynski in the Yuzuki Choco Lexus holding up very well there in that number 74 car, but it is losing touch to Anthony Amanel. Anthony Amanel himself is losing touch to Daniel Bauer, already building up a 7-second lead.
It seems this is more of a longevity kind of podium right now, mostly just trying to outspeed your competitors, while they try to outspeed their competitors. It's like a endless cycle, except it's not. But it's just mostly large gaps.
The gaps are basically opening on as the race winds down to basically long green flag runs strategy will be the name of the game, as Shakif Reza trying to get very close to Jensen, who's trying to get closer to Heinz, who's trying to get closer to Suharto. Look at Heinz trying to make a move around the inside of 130R, but has to be in the outside of basically the Cassia Triangle. There is a big train of cars currently between Lorenzo Ricci and everyone else. Let's see who blinks first.
Well, it seems that we have a huge train on our hands. There's probably going to be quite a bit of holdups and possibly position changing within the next, well, I've said next 2 laps, forever. Alright, I'll change it up. Within, well, next 2 laps. I'm sorry. But, it's going to be very interesting to see this line. I'm always very interested within trains like these, as it's very hard to, like, move in and get out of within those situations unless you somehow widen the gap.
And meanwhile, we want to take a look into another battle here, battle for 4th place. Von Air is losing touch to Raiji Kaczynski in front in 3rd place, and Alex Bowen, while she is getting herself into a position to overtake Von Air, she needs to have a good exit on each of these corners, with Von Air basically struggling in order for Bowen to have any meaningful chance to get the pass done, as the sun is definitely starting to set here in Suzuka.
Well, as the sun sets, a more faster pitting strategy, I don't know the technical term, I'll try to study those up, but that strategy might be a little bit more efficient, definitely because the tires will warm up faster and be faster.
Yeah. So basically, just trying to elaborate what Zeke has been mentioning. All this like background audio. So undercutting, you try to pit early. You put me on that bounce at the fastest lap to 5491, basically showing that the Lexus is the car to beat here in Suzuka. Meanwhile, speaking of pit strategies, pit early. Get yourself out in clean air. Your opponents are stuck behind traffic and in dirty air. They lose time. You are faster than them, and when they pit, you overtake them by virtue of pit strategy. But this requires you to warm up your tires very quickly. As here we see the first mover in the pit lane, Shakif Reza pits.
Well, this will be very interesting to see, especially as the sun settles down, is starting to set down. I personally believe a little bit later would have been sufficed, but I'm not going to question the methods.
So Shakir Reza, younger of the Reza siblings, is the first guy to pit in this lap, to pit in this race so far. But meanwhile, Alex Bowen getting very close to Von Air once again. But so far, the opportunities have not arisen yet. Meanwhile, the train is still there between Hans-Henrik Heinz. Hans-Henrik Heinz trying his absolute best to overtake Bowen Suharto, who is actually slower than Lorenzo Ricci. Now, the gap between Suharto and Ricci have now opened up to 1 second between the 41 and the 20. Now, there's also a Subaru car driven by Heinz. Let's see what he can do to basically get the pass done.
Heinz seems like a very, very competent overtaker in this current situation. He is basically the apex predator of the train. I believe he has very, very high potential to be overtaking multiple drivers within the next couple laps or so.
Meanwhile, Alex Bowen sniffing for an opportunity once again, but a problem hasn't arisen yet. Tagoza has definitely closed the gap between the two Lexus cars. Meanwhile, Hans-Henrik Heinz gets very close into Juan Suharto. Let's look at the speed as they head into 130R. 180 kilometers an hour and slightly faster. There goes. Look at Hans-Henrik Heinz. He's a guy trying to make a move down the outside. He could make a move down the inside, but he thinks better off. Von Air and Alex Bowen and Tagoza hold on to their position so far. Hans-Henrik Heinz is absolutely blazing on the track, but he's trying his absolute best with the limited horsepower the Lexus has compared to the super engines that the Nissan have. His option is to basically get a better exit in the corners.
Which he definitely excels in, with them being in a Lexus which, as Shazin has mentioned, very nice on corners. The overtaking, I believe, would be on a corner where the Nissan isn't at its strongest, rather at its weakest instead. But yeah, he's definitely probably going to be overtaking them within a couple laps. He's been showing himself to be very, very feisty, to say the least.
And right now, we also want to mention that the drivers the drivers from 13 on back are setting lap times between a 2:08 and a 2:07 right now. Shazin and Chucky Brezda have pitted, I believe, on lap 8, lap 9. We're gonna need to wait for another few laps for Chucky Brezda to basically get himself up. And he pits again. He pits again, and this time it's actually for much longer. Sorry, because actually they have reported that Chucky Brezda has a problem, and so Chucky Brezda, I think he's out of this race.
What is going on right now? What's wrong?
Right now we cannot tell what's wrong with the car at the moment, but I think when he tried to get his car back out on track, the car basically failed. It just wouldn't start, and now Chucky Brezda is currently still stuck in the pits trying to find more ways than one to get himself back in contention. But right now, as it stands, he's being placed a few laps down here at the moment as the cars lap Chucky Brezda once again. So absolute heartbreaks for the younger Brezda.
Well, this seems to be a very interesting turn of events for the undercut strategy right now. This basically guarantees, last place essentially, and he's probably out of the race, depending on how long the problem can last. Hoping he can get back on track real soon.
And right now, Chucky says that the problem is still persisting. The car just wouldn't turn. He is definitely not happy with the car at the moment. With Taco's led, finally gets his car out. Unlike Chucky Brezda, he gets his car started again for him to get himself back out on track. Taco's led will exit in 21st, just ahead of basically the pack here in the battling pack here between Tim Eno, Sergey Petrov, Jake Fox, and Kizuhara Leo. So Taco's led might actually have some traffic that he might have to deal with, but the gap is now actually 3 seconds. So meanwhile, as we take a look into Heinz and actually Jensen actually made the pass around the left corner. So Jensen actually let's basically elaborate on things. Heinz tries to overtake Suharto on the exit, but went offline and gave Jensen the opportunity to pass the 48 car. So right now, the Aqua car driven by Aquamarine Jensen in his first Hololive GT3 start is currently up to 8th.
For a rookie, and I'm a rookie too, so I probably shouldn't be saying this. He's doing very, very well for one of his first Hololive GT3 races, which he is a very, very promising contender for today's race, whatever time zone it is. Very, very promising. I'd love to see where he goes with this.
And right now, Anthony Amenal is definitely losing touch with the rest of the pack right now, and by the rest of the pack, I mean only Daniel Bauer, as Momashaki Brezda is still stationary in the car. The problem has yet to be resolved, so Shaki Brezda is still mired back a few positions, so it's heartbreak because Shaki Brezda is essentially out of the running for this race. Meanwhile, there's a battle for second brewing between Emanuel Kaczynski, Bon Air, and Alex Bowen.
Well, yeah, because the problem persisted for so long, I don't think he's gonna be gaining anything from now on. He's basically officially out of the race.
Yeah, out of the running, out of contention for the race win, and out of the points as well. Meanwhile, we're about to see another driver in the pits. Jake Fox is in the pits. Meanwhile, Andrew Takusa is going to go do some clean, light work. Kizuhara Leo overtakes Kizuhara Leo into turn 1 and into turn 2. What a bold move there by Andrew Takusa. Really getting this car ready. And as you can see, his lap time is a 2:06.863. Faster by 1 or 2 seconds compared to the rivals in front.
Absolutely beautiful coming from a Nissan, which is not the dominant car on this racetrack, that being Lexus. Very, very interesting to see. He's definitely got potential to move himself up among the ranks, especially if they're attempting to hit. Essentially what I'm saying is he's got very, very good eyes on the prize right now.
Good eyes on the prize indeed. And remember, he has pitted once, but since he pitted quite early, the fuel calculations may be slightly incorrect, so he might have to pit for a second time, which actually concerns a few people. Meanwhile, Daniel Bowers has another fastest lap of the race, 2:05.19. Actually, a very good lap, 2:05.193 actually. And meanwhile, the pack is forming in the battle for second right now. Eminem doing very good there. Remember, the Honda is quite decent on the straights here, better than the Lexus, of course. As you can see, Kaczynski trying his best to overtake Eminem, but he's too far back as it stands. Meanwhile, we're going to be taking a look into some of the other drivers who have yet to pass the halfway mark of this race. Jensen holding on to 8th place right now. You can see Tim Eno and Andrew Takaslet. Actually, Andrew Takaslet makes light work of Tim Eno as well. On the same lap that he overtook Kizuhara Liu, he made a bold overtake into 130R, and Takaslet's now up to 17th. He's basically a man on a mission.
Well, it seems that the undercut strategy working very, very well for him. Definitely imagining him taking over a couple more people at least before his cars. Yeah,
the podium is in reach for Andrew Takaslet right now. He sets a 2:05 right now, matching Daniel Bauer's lap time. So right now he's in leader category of basically lap times here at the moment. He's basically showing light work of all the other cars right now, and with all the other cars, for example, from Ricci to Contreras, basically pulling the pack up, as well as Anthony Amanoff backing up Kaczynski, Bowen, and Air. Takaslet have a chance to basically overtake them all for second.
The only problem that I can oversee right now is that he's essentially on a ticking time bomb before everyone else gets the newer tires and starts competing at same, if not above, Takaslet's level. So he's essentially got to make as much as possible with disadvantage as he can before it, expires.
And right now, Takaslet using this advantage as he does. 2:05.046 for Daniel Bauer, fastest lap for the User Romel Lexus. So obviously, for everyone tuning into the stream, I hope everyone's enjoying the commentary, the race here at the moment. The User Romel car is leading dominantly right now, as what Ben Ripton had done in the previous qualifying race, where he basically had a 30+ second lead. Meanwhile, Hans-Henrik Hunt and Jensen were side by side at the exit, and Hans-Henrik Hunt actually made the pass on Jensen.
Well, Hines, as I said before, definitely has Apex Predator material right now, going very, very aggressive, and it seems that's paying off for him right now. It did kind of hinder him a little bit, but he's back on his feet, and he is roaring.
And speaking of roaring right now, let's take a look into Andrew Takaslet's lap time. Everyone says a lap time of 2:10, but Andrew Takaslet has a lap time of a 2:06. Andrew Takaslet is storming through the pack right now, basically picking off the back of the pack cars right now. But right now, Ben Ripton, Alex Grant, and Rahim Bayev might be a problem for him, because he had basically caught them at the wrong time, and that wrong time is basically at the S's. He doesn't want to catch them right here, where overtaking is basically non-existent. And as you can see here, Alex Grant is holding up Ben Ripton and is holding up Andrew Takaslet, and this will hamper his efforts. He had to basically check himself up. And Takaslet, let's see if he can get a very solid exit there. Not exactly the best exit possible, exiting dominated Degner.
At this rate, he's basically got to wait for straights, as Nissan has to do on this particular track to overtake the competition. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of good fortune coming Takaslet's way.
And remember, we mentioned that basically the pit delta is around 40 to 43 seconds right now. He is basically only 44 seconds behind Anthony Emenel at the moment. And as it stands, Amanel and Kandinsky have yet to pit in this race, but we did mention about Tago's fuel mileage, if he could actually make the fuel mileage on his own. Now here is where he needs to have a very solid exit, but he tries to overtake at the second part of school, which is not going to do him any favors. And you can see, well, here's Heinz and Suharto, and remember Heinz-Heinrich Heinz? Heinz-Heinrich Heinz is actually soaring right now at the moment. There's just so many battles going on, and right now Heinz-Heinrich Heinz already 3 seconds faster than a Nissan in front.
Truly impressive things coming from Heinz right now. Absolutely amazing what he is doing, overtaking people left and right while everything else is going on. It's a bit much going on right now on the circuit, but I'm sure there's definitely more to come as we have not even reached the halfway point.
And meanwhile, Ben Ripton and Aquamarine Jensen come in for their scheduled stops. I believe they'll have enough mileage to get into the end, given that they're pitting on lap 15 as it stands. And right now, Andrew Takozlet now have slightly cleaner air at the moment. Alex Grant is ahead of him. If we look at the lap time differences right now, it was a 2:0. It was basically 2:11 for Andrew Takozlet because he had to back himself out to a lot of traffic, so he's not basically the cars in front of him, the slower traffic is not going to do himself any favors because he tries to get himself off track, tries to go around the outside of Grant at Dunlop. That's going to lose him even more time.
Well, it seems that ticking time bomb is definitely going to start taking its toll right about now, as he's being held out right now. He basically has a limited time frame before everyone eventually gets better tires and starts leveling his tires ability.
So right now,
it's gonna continue.
Yeah, right now Heinz-Heinrich Heinz, remember he's a man on a mission. He's got the pace, he's got the cornering speed. 130 yards exit is where his happy place is, and as you can see, Lorenzo Ricci definitely struggling in the corner right now, and now Heinz-Heinrich Heinz trying to make a move around the outside. Could he actually make a move around the outside? Here he comes. One of his moves, he makes contact with Ricci. He gets Ricci with him, and Heinz-Heinrich Heinz up to 6th place. Another Lexus car. Heinz-Heinrich Heinz has basically shown the door.
Absolutely foul play played by Heinz, knocking him over.
Not exactly.
Yeah,
I believe they didn't make much contact. It's fair play. So right now, Heinz-Heinrich Heinz showing everyone the door, showing everyone what this car is capable of. It seemed like no matter the driver, the Ozora Subaru Lexus is always there to show up when it needed to. Like, remember back in the start of the Hololive GT3 Japan Series season, Jacqueline Gibbons was driving this car to the first win of 2022, and then we have Orihara Isaiah winning in this car, and then Heinz-Heinrich Heinz is showing the door once again as Alex Grant hits from basically where he was.
Well, I meant foul figuratively, but yeah, absolutely amazing stuff performed by the Subaru car. Amazing. I'm too new to really remember all that old stuff that happened last season, but yeah, absolutely stunning, amazing car.
And right now, Andrew Takozlet gonna be trying to show Rakim Bayam what it's done. And Heinz-Heinrich Heinz have a massive gap. As you can see, he tried to make a move around the inside of Deckner. He could make the overtake into Deckner actually, but he's too far back. And we have these two cars literally showing everyone the class of the field right now. Andrew Takozlet and Heinz-Heinrich Heinz. But the difference between the two, Takozlet have already pitted. Heinz-Heinrich Heinz have yet to pit. We have to mention to you, Shelly. So right now, Heinz-Heinrich Heinz is absolutely sweltering when it comes to pace. And right now, he is absolutely on fire.
Someone get a fire extinguisher. He is, well, as you said, on fire, but that could potentially change when he hits. But even then, I believe that he will have very, even if he pitted now, have a very strong pace, possibly even stronger than now, to just overtake and demolish his competition. He seems to be doing amazing, even after just not hitting at all this race so far. So this will be very interesting to see.
Yes, as we've mentioned, as you've seen this on your screen right now, Bon Air and Alex Bowen going side by side at the exit of the Casio Triangle and heading into turn 1. Bon Air held himself against his own, on his own against Alex Bowen, who is very fast at the moment. Definite podium contenders as it stands right now. And with the, the pace difference between Bon Air and Alex Bowen, Alex Bowen having the faster car, Bon Air is doing himself a lot of favors defending. Meanwhile, Hansari Khan is definitely close back onto Alex Bowen as it stands. As right now, the gap might just be 18 seconds right now, but it was like 19 seconds before. So Hansari Khan is doing his absolute best to try to catch himself back up into the podium positions. Like you mentioned, anything is possible.
I've said that multiple times over multiple races, and it is just about the halfway point. But a lot has happened within this first half. I'm hoping for an eventful second half as well, going into second half.
So right now, we're looking at the provisional standings at the moment. Bauer is leading by around 26 seconds. Also a good dominant run, almost mirroring Ben Ripton's performance actually, with the second place Honda basically backing up the rest of the field, and the first place Lexus basically dominating proceedings. As you can see here, Kizuharu trying to get into Tim Eno. Remember, these two have yet to pit as well. Pit window should be open for those who will be planning to do a one-stop. Let's see who will be getting into that one-stop.
Going this far into the race with sorry, I messed up my one stops and two stops on accident. My bad.
So here is on board a few of the cars here right now, and once cars on the next driver to pit. Let's see, with the sun setting, but the temperature is still at around 19 degrees, so high warm-up is not much of an issue. So the undercut strategy should be the name of the game right now. Taco's Led is basically getting himself back into the top 10 where he should be. Meanwhile, we have Juan Suharto getting his car service. And then we have Richie Broad also pitting, and as you can see, Shakib Reza actually has his car back out on track. But now, actually no, Shakib Reza is still inside the pits. Never mind.
Well, you thought I'd just like to talk theoretical for right now. I would just love to see a battle between Hines and Taco's Lab. That would just be so awesome to see. It would just be so entertaining because those two have both been performing wonders today.
And right now we did want to mention that Hines have yet to pit and Taco's Lab have already pitted, but in terms of fuel mileage at the moment, we'll have to wait and see on who gets it done and who gets it right, who gets it wrong. But meanwhile, Bon Air is going to try to make a move into Anthony Amenel for second place. This is the battle for second between the two cars who have yet to pit. Bon Air trying to make a move around the outside. Let's see if he can outbreak it into the hairpin. The Casio Triangle. This will unsettle the Lexus a bit. Meanwhile, Alex Bowen trying to get a good exit as much as he can, but he loses a good amount of time because actually, Bon and Alex Bowen are going to be pitting.
Well, now's the time to pit, going into the half point, hoping they don't miscalculate. Well, it's kind of hard to miscalculate fuel around this point, but there should be enough fuel to make it to the end of the race unless you really miscalculate it. But this will be a one stop, which could potentially burn out some of the really excelling participants right now.
And right now, we have also mentioned that Raji Kaczynski have also pitted. Let's see if he can gain some ground on his rivals right now. Bon Air and Alex Bowen are still having their car service. Bon Air and Alex Bowen just exit at roughly the same time. Raji Kaczynski consolidates his place right now. So Raji Kaczynski holds on consolidates what should be a provisional second place at the moment. I can't tell of Daniel Bowers' lap time at the moment. He's currently getting into the S's. Here is the first lap car at the moment. Tim Eno have also pitted as well, if I'm not mistaken. So he's basically a lap down. Then Sergei Petrov is also at risk of being a lap down. Daniel Bauer is looking to lap the number 5 Nekomata Kayu Nissan. Let's see if he can carry as much speed as he can. Outside. Will he make a move around the outside? No. As you can see, Sergei Petrov holding on his own in 20th place. He will want to stay on the lead lap, but Daniel Bauer, as you mentioned, with with a lot of these dominance and with a stringed out field, lap cars can be a deciding factor in this race.
I've mentioned lap cars actually before the race even started, and here they are. It's just instead of Ben Ripton, it is Bauer right now, and this could potentially scramble scoreboard, leaderboard on its head if it's severe enough, like international series.
Yeah, we see the Mosport and Road America and I believe Red Bull Ring. Yeah, but that's where the lap cars can definitely play a part on deciding the outcome of the race. So right now, and Daniel Bauer, the gap was 28 seconds. It's now dropped down to 27 seconds as Bauer is still being held up by Sergei Petrov. This could be crucial in the outcome of the race. Daniel Bauer is looking to be very desperate, but right now the gap is so large between himself and Amadal that he can be able to consolidate the gap as Heinz finally pits from 3rd place.
Bauer definitely has time on his hands right now, but it is not infinite. He will have to pass Petrov eventually in order for a very healthy and longevity run right now.
So yeah, so that he can have a definite good run by the end of this race, so that he has enough enough time to basically consolidate his place in the top step of the podium right now. And Daniel Bauer holding onto the rear bumper of Sergei Petrov. Will he make the move around the outside? And as you can see, Alex Grant is also ahead of him as well. Inside becomes outside. This time he gets alongside. Not quite close enough, but it looks like Sergei Petrov is going to be holding on his own. Currently holding on into Sergei Petrov, but it looks like Daniel Bauer has had enough with basically Sergei Petrov as he is currently going into the pits. Anthony Amina, let's see if he's going to pit.
Pitting right now would be very nice because you're gonna have to pit eventually, and all the undercut strategies are starting to lose their tires. So now would be an excellent time to pit, get ahead of the competition, go wild.
And right now, Anthony Amina has elected to stay off for a lap or two. Daniel Bauer is still having his car service as Wamashita Shaki Reza is essentially out of the running entirely. Sean Pauli, Raji Kaczynski, Sean Pauli have yet to pit as well as Ricky Contreras, so they'll be quite slow. Look at Andrew Taco's definitely on the charge, on the move. He's gonna try to make a move onto Contreras, who have yet to pit, has the worn tires. Andrew Taco's on the inside of Contreras. They bang doors just a bit. It's between the ASCII and the lapless cars. And right now, Taco's Led have the advantage, goes off wide just a bit. And as you can see here, the contact! Andrew Taco's Led spins Ricky Contreras.
Well, this might put potentially even both of them out of the race, but I guarantee at least one of them is out. Also, I'm really hungry right now. I'm probably gonna go get a snack.
But right now, as you can see, Andrew Taco's Light, you can go get yourself a snack right now. Andrew Taco's Light gets himself back into the pits right now. He has miscalculated on his fuel load. He has pitted way too early, and now Andrew Taco's Light is also going to be paying the price. And that's also Ricky Contreras out. He is now back into the pit. The damage is too much for him. The suspension is broken, and so basically 2 drivers out of contention for the race win. Meanwhile, as we're about to take a look into Sean Pauli. Sean Pauli holding on to 3rd place in the Inugami Corner Honda. As we pass the 20 lap mark of this race. Holding on to 3rd place, Kaczynski not far behind in 4th place. Bonaire and Alex Bowen going at it once again. Remember, both of them have pitted at the same time, so they basically negate each other's strategy. So there's 2 cars out of the race, Ricky Contreras and Mohamed Shakib Reza, both on very separate occasions. So Ryan Kaczynski getting into the rear end of Sean Pauli, but he doesn't have the slipstream, doesn't have enough straight line speed on that Lexus, but then Alex Bowen and Bon Air, the differences are negated. And Alex Bowen, let's see if she can make a move around the inside of Bon Air in the Nasura Matsuri Lexus. Anthony Lemmel's definitely losing out to Daniel Bauer. Daniel Bauer is looking to consolidate his race lead. This could be a 1-2 for Daniel Bauer and Ryan Kaczynski for the Chocomel duo. It will be the first 1-2 as it stands. And what better way to do it than literally the day before the Zora Mel's birthday? Meanwhile, Raji Kaczynski holding on to 4th place at the moment, trying to make a move into... Well, right now we'll be seeing a lot of people watching. A lot of people watching the stream. Welcome on board, everyone. I hope everyone's enjoying the stream here on this very lovely evening here in Suzuka. Obviously, we're having a massive battle here before 2nd place. As you can see, Kaczynski going off wide, trying to overtake Pauli on the outside of Tola. That doesn't work usually, as Kaczynski is getting very close to Sean Pauli into Degner. 1 and 2. Let's see if Kaczynski can get close enough. Sean Pauli, remember, he has yet to pit, so this could be detrimental to Kaczynski's chances of getting that Chocomel 1-2.
I'm back. I had to make a snack, eat it real quick. But what did I miss, Shevin?
So right now we'll be looking at Daniel Bauer already pitting, and he's closing up to Anthony Emenel. Raji Kaczynski trying to overtake Sean Pauli, who has yet to pit, and Kaczynski trying to overtake Sean Pauli for him to consolidate the Chocomel 1-2. And excuse me while I try to commentate this battle. I'm gonna need to make myself a drink. My throat is hurting, man.
Well, yeah, take your time. Well, I had to get a snack too. But it seems that because he is gone, I can't really do much, so. So, anyway, you guys doing alright? I apologize. We can't switch to other cars or anything, so we're just kind of stuck on this one. While we wait for Shazbrin to get a drink. But again, we are sorry for. Well, I'm sorry for the inconvenience because I can't really do anything, but. Well, while I'm at it, I might as well try to do it. So I'm not very good at this. So
don't worry.
While
don't worry, I'm back. As you can see here, Jake Fox pits for the 2nd time. He also miscalculated on his field run, so he will be pitting for a 2nd time, unfortunately. So you're now back up to 18th place. And as you can see, we're going to give you guys a rundown of the top 10 at the moment. Anthony Emenel holds on to what is still the race lead, but he cannot hold it for long, and Daniel Bauer is hot on the heels. The gap was 8 seconds last time I checked. It's now dropped down to less than 4 seconds. Sean Pauli is trying his absolute best to defend Raji Kaczynski and prevent a Chocomel 1-2. And right now, look at Bon Air. Bon Air is now in the equation. He's now literally hounding Raji Kaczynski. Will he make a move down the inside as they both approach 130R? Raji Kaczynski tries to defend. As you can see, Bonner tries to go inside. No, Alex Bowen is joining the equation.
This is a truly interesting turn of events right now, and I think I'm about to see a pass going on real soon. And Bonaire are currently fighting for a position right now. Truly marvelous to see. It seems it might have settled down a little bit. It seems. I think yes. Bolan got a little bit shafted a bit, but I'm sure he can try again on that offense.
Yeah, let's hope that she can try to consolidate that big place from Bon Air. Correct on that. And meanwhile, Hans-Henrik Heinz set the fastest lap at 2:04. So Hans-Henrik Heinz is also flying. So watch out for Hans-Henrik Heinz. We did mention that Hans-Henrik Heinz is driving like a man possessed. Now he is in 7th place, catching basically the front pack.
Yeah, it seems Heinz is about to join the equation as well. It just seems to the group just seems to get bigger and bigger for the competitiveness for second, third place, sacred podium or whatever. But it's truly interesting to see all this going down.
And right now we have seen Jake Fox already a lap down after he had to pit for a second time. Taco Glenn is still inside the points, fortunately. And as you can see, Jensen is being held up by Boomai, who is slightly being held up by Kizuhara Leo. Rosuardo, Richie, and Raheem are on their own battles right now. A lot of battles coming left, right, and center. We would like to thank everyone watching this stream at the moment. Share the stream to everyone as you can, because the last 10 laps is going to be interesting for everyone to see. And as you can see here, there's a massive battle for what looks to be second place right now. Let's see if Kaczynski can try to close the gap onto Sean Paul as they're in the backstretch before 130R. Raja Kaczynski. Raja Kaczynski trying to get into the move, trying to get into the groove, into the inside. Could it be the inside? Wait, no, it's actually on the outside. Raja Kaczynski tries to make a move. Sean Pauli blocks. And right now, Bon Air is into the mix. Let's see if Alex Boyd can join the equation. And now Hans-Henrik Heinz is joining the battle.
You're cutting out a little bit, but yeah, truly, awesome. Everything is going down over here for about 12th to 7th for just a massacre trying to ensue right now. Just everyone's just battling. It's like war right now on the front right now.
Yeah, I know. But as it stands, at the moment, MNL is catching up to Tim Eno, but Daniel Bauer, who has already pitted, is already hot on the heels of Anthony Eminem. He has already had more tires and is yet to pit. So he's going to lose out a lot in this regard. Well, I think he could consolidate maybe 3rd or 4th. 2nd is on the cards due to Sean Paul playing the team game. Now look at Bon Air overtaking Raja Kaczynski. Raja Kaczynski tried to go on the outside of Dunlop, which basically puts him offline. And now Bon Air is in the podium. The battles just keep going. And as you can see, Alex Bowen now trying to get into the mix.
Everyone just wants a piece of that front pie right now. It's just everyone's joining. Everyone's just trying to take over each other. It's just like a lust for conflict currently going on. Also, I'm sorry, I did not even know that Bauer somehow got in the second. I didn't notice that. I just want to put that out there.
And right now we are looking into the battle for the race lead here. Anthony Emmanuel has finally gone clear of Daniel Bauer. Daniel Bauer is going to try to fight back, and then Anthony Emmanuel trying his best to defend his fragile lead at the moment. Daniel Bauer currently 2nd so far. Remember, Anthony Emmanuel has yet to pit. And right now, Daniel Bauer has pit and has the fresher tires. Meanwhile, there's a battle here between Raja Kaczynski and Bon Air and Alex Bowen. And right now, we see Hans-Henrik Heinz on the inside of Alex Bowen, both Lexus cars side by side. And now Hans-Henrik Heinz is going to seize the opportunity to steal another position. And now Hans-Henrik Heinz up to 6th. Kaczynski still defends.
Well, it seems everyone. I can't even estimate who's gonna take over what anymore. It's just too messy for me to really comprehend what's going on in the future. So I'll just say people are just going to lose and gain positions. I'll just say that. And right now, I'm assuming Bauer is still trying to overtake and regain his 1st place lead.
Meanwhile, as we'll be taking a look into multiple battles left, right, and center, there's a battle for the race lead at the moment. Bauer trying to hold on to his fragile lead at the moment. He has 4 tires right now, and Bauer has fresher tires. Devon Air is currently trying to pass Sean Paul. Sean Paul is basically holding everyone up. Some of the few Hondas are trying to hold on for as long as they can. I don't know if they have pitted or not. I don't think they have pitted, and they're trying to play the long game. Basically, the Honda is also very efficient on fuel as well, so they can fill in the 90 liters and try to hold on into basically the end of the race. But right now, we are just about 10 laps to go here in Suzuka. Daniel Bauer trying to make a move around the outside, but he's too far back. Actually, no, they're side by side. Daniel Bauer and Anthony Eminel, Gen 1, of course, battling side by side. And Anthony Eminel finally peels into the pits. Daniel Bauer gets back into the race lead. What an amazing battle that was.
Well, he held out for, or whatever, they held out for as long as they could, and it was a good fight, but Bauer eventually probably would have reclaimed his lead anyway because they had the pit. Anyway,
there was actually a bit of contact between Kaczynski and Hines. Kaczynski is trying his absolute best to make sure that Chocomel 1-2 is a dream come true, but right now it's a dream slipping away from Raja Kaczynski, as Raja Kaczynski is now overtaken by Hines. Sean Pauli finally pits for whoever belongs how long. For 26 laps, Sean Pauli has stayed out on track, and now he finally pits. Now Raja Kaczynski versus Hans Harry is going to try to fight them back right now, and Anthony Eminel back out on track. The battle for second is going to be intense.
When wasn't it? It's been intense for like the past 5 laps or so when everyone was trying to murder each other, and they still are. I've said this so many times. It's just a massacre going on over there in the front. The front and the back are 2 different animals right now at the moment, completely separated. It's just one sight to see, that's for sure.
And right now, we actually want to take a look into the Hondas there. Sean Pauli, Kizuhara Leo, and Andrew Rakinbaya finally pitting on lap 26. They all pit at the same time. So right now, will they stay in the points playing positions? Right now, Sean Pauli is staying in 13. Kizuhara Leo looks to still be out there, but the Rakinbaya and Leo now outside the points. As it stands, the podium is going to be Daniel Bauer, Anthony Eminel, and Bon Air. Finally, Honda at least is getting into the podium after Nissan podium lockout last round in Buriram.
Well, I like to imagine this track is just like a makeup track for any car that isn't Nissan. Right now, because the Nissans dominated last track, and now they're weak on this track, so that's kind of funny. But yeah.
And right now we'll be taking a look at some of the other battles here. Right now everyone is back on slightly equal pace at the moment. Let's take a look into the progress chart at the moment. Ansari Khan starting 8th, now up to 4th place. Lorenzo Ricci started 10th, now up to 7th. And then Ben Ripton inside the points after starting 20th. And right now Bonner doing very well for him as well. He started basically 5th, is now up to 3rd. And now finally the battles have kind of calmed down quite a bit, and you see Eminel having the freshest tires out of the pack so far. Hans Arendt has the second freshest tire so far. Because he have very old tires and definitely used, so he's going to try his absolute best to just even stay inside the top 5.
It's possible the gaps are just widening. Right now everything's ramped down, pieces being made, amends made. But yeah, very, very interesting past couple laps.
So right now we'll be taking a look into some of the remaining battles here at the moment. The highest Nissan is currently Lorenzo Ricci, of course currently in 7th place. I hope people are recording these in the chat. Sorry, not in the spreadsheets right now. Hopefully they have been paying attention to what's on the standings right now. But don't worry, shape is still pretty much okay. It's just the stand shape is currently, or rather Sean Pauli is currently 13th, so he is on track to score points, so good on him. Meanwhile, as we're about to take a closer look into some of the standings here at the moment. And right now, it looks like Daniel Bauer is looking very solidly, looking very handsomely for a place at the top step of the podium right now. With a win, he will definitely vault himself inside the top 5 for sure. Whether or not we see the basically Fumai defend his championship league from reaching, that will be up in the air as to whether that's actually happening or not. As you can see here, Daniel Bauer having a very solid gap between himself and Anthony Emanuel in second place, and you can see the battle is still a bit ripe, but not ripe enough. And as you can see, they're all going single file in the next few laps here at the moment. Daniel Bauer trying to get himself into lap traffic. He's going to try his best to get basically laps in traffic. Tim Eno is next. He's already lapped Jake Fox. So let's see what Daniel Bauer can do in his next 2 laps.
Well, I basically think that Bauer has a guaranteed first place unless the lap cars like completely stall him, like more than usual. But
we'll have to wait and see.
Yep, that's the words I was looking for.
Yes, and right now Jensen, in his debut Hololive GT3 race right now, is doing very solidly in 10th place, basically substituting for Busy Santini, who is currently busy on his examinations at the moment. Jensen holding on very decently in 10th place, scoring what should be another points finish in the Minato Aqua Nissan. Now, we want to talk about some of the retirees in this field. Ricky Contreras got turned by Andrew Taco's lead, as then Andrew Taco's gets in the pits, and Mohamed Shakib Reza actually. He basically had a problem getting into the pits, and then when he tried to start the car, he just couldn't start the car, and he's basically stuck in the pits. So he is currently down in 22nd place. So not good for him at the moment.
Well, it seems the little brother has lost another game, I guess.
Yeah, after he was basically beaten to the line by Tony Basinga, at least it was in the top 15 in points, but this time he's outside the top 20, so it's not looking good for the younger of the Reza siblings. But actually, one of the things we'll look into some of the other battles here. Hans-Harry Heinz, will he make a move to Von Air for the final podium positions? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, I'm seeing all the top, the front contestants are just absolutely performing excellent today, and honestly, any place for them, I'm still congratulating them. They've just performed absolutely effectively and efficiently. It's just amazing to see them out work.
So right now, we're taking a look into Heinz, who's currently still in 4th place. Let's see if there are any battles being consolidated left, right, center. There's a Nissan Civil War between the two. Look at Andrew Taco's. Will he make a dive down the outside? Not quite, but Andrew Taco's will have the line necessary for him to attack. The 1, the 9, the 12, and the 22. There is a Nissan battle ripe, as you can see, Hokumai finally hits, as he has basically, I think, is in his 2nd stop, so not good for him, because he has also miscalculated on his fuel.
Seems that's a reoccurring theme going on this race. I think that's like 3rd, 4th-ish person who's miscalculated fuel.
And right now, Andrew Taco's currently staying in 10th place, trying to go for the offensive on Jensen. Jensen now having the clean air needed. He now has the ability to attack, and basically gain a good amount of lap times. Let's see if... Well, he's not going to overtake Suharto anytime soon, that's for certain. But the battle inside the top 6, from 2nd, have basically simmered down as we're about to get into the final 5 laps of this race. Daniel Bauer is about to cross the line, still unable to overtake Tim Eno. And as you can see, Daniel Bauer getting very close there, but he's not close enough. Not close enough goes Daniel Bauer into turn 1, trying to overtake what should be a lap car on Tim Eno. Meanwhile, 6th place to 2nd is still pretty much toast.
Well, again, there's not much to really see right now everything's simmered down. Everyone's peace, amends, friendship. Well, I wouldn't say friendship, but rivalries have toned down and everything's good on the circuit.
Yeah, there was a battle there. There was a very calm and calculated battle. There's minimal contact. There's definitely a lot of sportsmanship in these races so far. And meanwhile, Taco's as you mentioned, is trying to catch up onto basically Jensen on the Minata Nissan. Like we mentioned, he's doing very solidly in the number 9 car. Taco's if he can have that very solid exit, then he is losing touch to Jensen. So Jensen might not be able to make the pass now, but he might be able to make the pass later as Jensen is losing a bit of ground. But over time he is not close enough. So we're in lap 31 so far. Daniel Bauer is currently in Spoon trying to overtake Inno, but currently failed to do so at the moment. Meanwhile, as you can see here, Anthony Emanuel actually have caught up into what's basically Hofu Mai. Hofu Mai is also actually, hang on, Sergei Petrov, never mind. Basically the battle for second could come down to lap cars actually.
I've seen a lot of races be very reliant on lap cars right now, so I'd love to see if the lap cars could really play out just monstrously within the last four laps.
Yeah, it's currently coming down to the final 3 laps. The final 4 laps of this race. Taco's led.
No, it's the.
Yeah, it's actually the final 4 laps. We're currently at lap 32, so that means there are going to be 4 laps: 32, 33, 34, and 35. And as it stands right now, we'll be taking a look. We're gonna step away from basically the top 6 battle as they have not passed Sergei Petrov just yet. Meanwhile, here's a battle that we might want to take a look into. Aquamarine Jensen and Andrew Taco's led, trying to find any place to get a good exit onto Jensen. Jensen holding up his own in his, like I mentioned, debut Hololive GT3 start. But first, we need to take a look into Daniel Bauer. Representing Gozoramel, Hololive's vampire. She's due to celebrate her birthday on Halloween, which is basically tomorrow in the grand scheme of things. And with her birthday literally being on Halloween, Bauer is gonna do the basically Gozoramel and her fan base a lot of favors. Definitely, as basically the 66 have never won a race, have not won a race since April this year, when Azza was behind the wheel of the 66 years old on Lexus. Daniel Bauer could do something what Muhammad Kachu couldn't, and as you can see, Eno gets off wide there, and we'll get back to the story. Daniel Bauer could snap that winless streak that had been going on since early April. So Daniel Bauer is looking to take the win for the second time in 2022, and he will do it in one of the most dominating fashion possible.
Imagine just not winning whatsoever, and then their birthday is tomorrow, and then you just absolutely just start crushing it, just absolutely leaving the competition in the dust. If I am looking correctly, about 25 seconds ahead of second place right now. Yeah, I'd say that's remarkable.
And actually, we wanted to mention that the battle for second place is actually heating up. And by heating up, I mean absolutely heating up. And as you can see here, Anthony Emanuel have caught up into the lap car of Sergei Petrov. And Sergei Petrov continues to hold all these drivers up. If anyone's game from 2nd to 6th.
Oh my god, here we go again. It's like deja vu all over again, except everyone's more stressed out because it's like the final few laps, so they really need to make a difference.
And right now, Bon Air is looking to try to make things happen, to try to make things work. And apologies there if there was a slight FPS reduction because I was trying to load something. As Anthony Emanuel is desperate to try to get past the number 5 Nekomata Okayu Nissan down in 20th. Here is basically a train of a few cars. Look at Richie, look at Bon Air. Bon Air is now on the inside of Anthony Emanuel. This is going to be a battle for second place. And on. And makes the pass on Anthony Amenol for second.
And it seems Amenol wants to go on for round 2, huh? He's not very content with losing his second place. He wants it back and real soon. So we'll see if he's got the fighting spirit to get his second place back.
And right now, Daniel Bauer is currently still holding on into what is essentially, basically, what you call the lead, but he is losing ground to Bon Air. But technically, both of the pack, have basically been disturbed by lap cars at the moment. Bon Air is not trying to get past the number 5 Nekomato Kai Nissan, which I think he might be able to do so exiting 130R.
Well, Air, I don't think he's gonna go any farther in second place. It's just, I don't think it's like, unless Bauer somehow crashes coincidentally on the last lap.
And right now, actually,
I don't think
yeah, I know. I don't think you'll be able to make it past Bauer on this with his final few laps. And as you can see here, Sergei Petrov gets the block on Bon Air as the sun is absolutely setting here in Suzuka. Bon Air holding on into what should be a very solid performance from him, getting second place, taking over the reins from Dan Powell, who have left Hololive GT3, entering the postseason. And right now, the battle might continue if Bon Air tries to go offline. It's Anthony Amenol's time to shine.
Well, he's mad. He wants his second place back from Air, who wrongfully stole it from him, quote unquote. So, am I making these words up? Yes. But seriously though, I would recommend getting that second place back. A lot of points for second place, not as many as first place, but points are points.
And right now we're seeing some guys side by side. Here's round 2. Anthony Amenol goes into the inside of Bon Air. Bon Air now goes offline. Another position traded between the 7 and 8 cars. A battle for Gen 1 is rife. And we actually want to mention to this guys once again. Remember when the 66, the 8, and the 7 were basically out of contention in Buriram? They're back for redemption. As you can see, the podium is this basically consisting of Gen 1 members' cars. And as you see, Bauer's Mel car is Gen 1, Amenol's Hachima car is Gen 1, and Bonner's Matsuri car is Gen 1. It's going to be a brilliant day for Gen 1 as we're about to get into the final lap.
Magic seasons. Anyway though, final lap, last chance to really get any positions going on at the moment. I reckon there's probably might be like round 3 that Air will try to like resurrect or whatever. This is like his last chance to really make a move, but he can't be too reckless or he'll probably lose some.
Oh, and again, Sergei Petrov gets the block onto Anthony Amenol is about to get into this final lap. It's going to be amazing for Gen 1 to see 3 of its cars locking out the podium. Sure, they're like 3 car manufacturers, but it's Gen 1 representation 100% nonetheless, as basically the pack in second place to 6 basically get into the last lap at the moment. As you can see, Bon Air doing his absolute best to try to catch up into Anthony Amenol. He's going to try to make sure he pressurizes Amenol to be offline so that Amenol could steal a position.
I didn't really understand any of that, but for the most part, all I heard was Air could definitely potentially get a position within the last few turns.
Here it comes again! Here it goes again! Bon Air having the preferred line with Amenol going offline. Air now still second place again.
What are the odds? Yeah, how much you want to bet it's going to be a 4th one?
Well, we're currently in the final lap, but Bon Air did it in basically the right time. Basically, he sees the opportunity to take the position at the most appropriate time possible. But what's supposed to be a 40-second gap has now dropped down to 20 seconds, and Daniel Bauer keeps himself clean as he has finally overtaken the lap car of Tim Eno. Daniel Bauer for Yusara Mel. Remember, tomorrow is her birthday stream, so head on to her channel if you want to watch her birthday live. Idol performances represented from Yusara Mel and Co. And Daniel Bauer. What can I say for him? A dominant performance from him. Welcome back to victory lane for the number 66 Yosuramel Lexus. Happy birthday to Yosuramel. Daniel Bauer wins in Suzuka.
Like I said before, and what Shazam said, haven't won since about early April. Come back out of nowhere, essentially, after just not winning on close to her birthday, just absolutely sweep the competition.
And
with your gen mates, by the way.
Yeah, Bon Air and Anthony Emanuel closing out the podium with a second and third. What a performance for the Gen 2, the Gen 1 cars to basically lock up on the podium. Sure, it's not a Chocomel 1-2, but it is a Gen 1 podium lockout, and that is as good as it gets.
Well, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a good ending.
And meanwhile, we want to see the other cars crossing across the line. Richie consolidates 7th, Suharto 8th, Aqua Marie Jetson and his Hololive GT3 debut in the number 9 Minato Aqua Nissan will finish 9th. And the Tacos consolidates 10th, Richie Rod in 11th, Sean Pauly 12th, Ben Ripton will hold on to 13th place, Alice Grant holds on to 14th, and Andrew Rahimbayev will score the final points of this race, with Kizuhara Leo and Hofu Mai being so close yet so far.
Yeah, it was eventful. I'm tired. I made a bunch of bad decisions and stayed up till like 2 a.m. last night, and it's like midnight around here. But anyway, good race. I saw a lot of sportsmanship. I saw quite a bit of not so sportsmanship, but yeah, it was a good race.
Yeah, and with that out of the way, the race has now concluded. We're going to be taking a look into the results. Daniel Bauer scoring the win in the Yosuramel Lexus. You can get into the points calculation now with Bauer taking the win. Bon Air in 2nd place. Good stuff from him as well. Basically having the titanic battle between him and Anthony Emanuel. In the end, Anthony Emanuel has to sell for 3rd place, but at the end of the day, it's a Gen 1 podium lockout, so that's basically everything to be proud of. Hans-Harry Heinz 4th, Alex Bowen 5th, Raji Gazinski 6th, Richie 7th, Suharto 8th, Aqua Marie Jetson is all like GT3 debut will get into 9th, Tacos Len in 10th, Richie Ryan 11th, Sean Pauly 12th, Ben Ripton 13th, Alex Grant 14th, and Andrew Rahimba basically consolidates the final points of this weekend. Kizuhara Leo ends up finishing outside the points at 60, Fumai 17, Ino 18, Jake Fox 19. Segipeta runs up to the 20th position. Ricky Contreras was involved in an incident with Tacos Len midway through the race, and Chucky Reza didn't manage to get past lap 10. So unfortunate for either the Reza siblings, with the older Reza being knocked out of the qualifying race and the younger Reza basically being knocked out of the running entirely. So we need to take a look into Ricky Contreras and see what happened to him with Andrew Tacoslet. So we're going to go on board in the number 39 Laplace Darkness Honda. We're going to go on board here. Here is the onboard by around lap 20, and as you can see here, visibly beside him is the ASCII Nissan. He tried to make a move. He has the outside line, and here is the contact. Yeah, it was a bit ugly, but don't worry, we have slightly more angles on this one. So here is the on-track camera angles. Oh, they basically ruffled some feathers there between Contreras and Tacoslet into the final turn. Here we see the incident once again. And as you can see, basically Contreras just basically hooked Contreras out, but this will also mean that his car is damaged beyond repair. So very unlucky for Contreras, and as we mentioned, very unlucky for Shaki Frisa as well to get knocked out due to a faulty electronics that didn't allow him to start the engine. It was fine when they swapped the tires and got some fuel in, but then at the end, he just couldn't start the car, and that's him out of the running. So very unlucky for Shakib Reza as well. So we're gonna try to get ourselves back on the points, as the calculation on the points have definitely begun. And actually, we're actually gonna post to you guys about the championship standings after this, because apparently there's a bit of an issue with basically on the scoring of the championship. So we'll get into the scoring into the Adak-RMS Twitter. We'll definitely post you guys of the championship results, the championship standings exiting round 2. So yeah, with that stream out of the way, we're gonna basically end the stream here. We hope everyone have enjoyed the stream, and we apologize for the mishaps that we've had throughout the stream. We hope everyone have basically had a fun time watching the stream and enjoyed a good time with this. As we're about to log off from basically the stream, I would like to reintroduce the commentary book once again. I'm Mama Shazin Reza, and alongside me is Wimberly in the commentary book, and you've been watching the 2022 Hololive GT3 Japan Series postseason.